Okay, alright. Something just happened that really burns me up. I should have just quit recording, but I tried to keep recording after a hard crash, because for some reason Alt F4 would not stop Grim Dawn, the, process. So, I had an encoding error happen because I did a log out instead of like just quitting the recording before I did that. You live and you learn. Lost some measure of progress, but it's not that big of a deal. You didn't miss anything too bad, I don't think. I don't know why I started out here, but let me first check the last video file so that I know where... Okay. You would have last seen me at. Yeah, okay. So, basically, I walked around Crown Hill, and it wasn't even an hour, it was like a half hour. So, it was a half hour, so like a half of a normal episode, if that makes sense. I forget some of the stuff that I talked about. That's fine, I guess. Lost, like, Tears in the Rain, or whatever that stupid meme is.
Come see what's left of my wares.
No sense crying about it. Like I said, though, I didn't actually get that much progress, and the thing that happened that is worth, like, most note is that I essentially got a quest that I went, yeah, nah, we ain't doing that, because this city is a nightmare to get around. 100 to 398, huh? .43 attacks per second. 35% physical converted to aether damage, absolutely the heck not. Goodbye. I don't care. That's bad. That's like hyper mega bad. I guess it was just reading the like total damage, which again, you gotta be real careful about that, because it goes off of, I think, total damage rather than actual, like, any substantive analysis of what the damage is. I have no earthly idea why it spawned me here. That's a very weird thing it did. I guess that must just be like the default recovery location or something. Anyway, I just went around Crown Hill. I slayed the flesh things, and I think I slayed the flesh things. I'm not really sure where... Okay, guys, come on. I'm not really sure where exactly. Wow, are these guys gonna stop? No. I'm looking dead at, I'm like holding the left thumbstick dead at the thing, and the auto-targeting is still trying to hit the dudes that aren't the giant summoning pillar. Anyway, I think I got the stuff killed. I'm not sure, though. I'm getting the sinking feeling that I have to go into that, like, dungeon over here. Like the flesh-wrapped enclave. I guess I should look it up. Oh, I guess I didn't actually get that. Wow, okay. I guess the game didn't save that. Because I did go back to this, the Steel Cap District. The last thing I did was that I went here and talked with this lady, He says, please forgive me, you've done so much for us already, but I must beg of you to help me. What is it? My mother and my daughters were taken when the Candle District was attacked. Those things just poured through the city, rounding up women and children. Some were taken alive, but they even took the dead. I don't know if they're alive. It may be mercy if they're not, but I need to know. I can't live thinking they may be out there somewhere suffering. I'll do what I can. The reason we're picking that up is because it takes place in the Fleshworks. I'm not sure,
How goes the attack on the Black Iron Docks?
Yeah, she's talking about that, the attack on the Black Iron Docks. We're not doing that, because I'd have to figure out how to get all the way over here, and I'm just not doing that. Nah, bro, miss me with that. Not interested. I'm not sure if my comment about Hieronymus Bosch paintings was in there, but basically there's these flesh things that you have to crawl up and deal with. Hold on. That's gonna sound really weird out of context too, if that was in the now lost recorded footage. Just like, what the... Why the hell would you be just... I promise it'll make sense in a second. First, we got to clear out the region of... you know... extremely menacing horrors. This right here. Oh, do I have to kill these again? Oh, that would stink if I do. Because they're not marked on the map now. But yeah, you have to go around and kill these, and then I remarked that, like, this is really good grisly design, because the more you look at it, the worse it gets. And how, like, that's a mark of really good horror, like, aesthetics. Because, you know, it's not just surface level horror, but the fact that the more you kind of visually tease it apart, the more awful it is. That's like the mark of a master at their craft in that. And I compared it to Giger, like H.R. Giger paintings, or whatever you want to call them, and Hieronymus Bosch. But I also made mention that if you're of a weak mental constitution, or you're, you know, otherwise like... you know, like a gentle disposition, don't go look up, like, Hieronymus Bosch, because that stuff is gnarly. Like, that's actually gnarly visual stuff. Like, even his more tame stuff is gnarly. And then I made the comment that what I do with graphs, like representation of, like, informatic systems and structures, which is, like, a really fancy way of saying, like, representing, you know, just information in general and logical stuff in particular, that my graphs and what I do with graphs is kind of like, what I do is to art what the guy who writes the For Dummies series, like, you know, Windows 10 for Dummies, like the folks who write that, because it might not be just one person, but like writing technical manuals is to, like, authoring stuff like the Wheel of Time. Like, so, you know, my opinion on art isn't from the position of an artist. Like, I don't ever think that just because I do stuff that technically involves creating visuals that I would ever consider myself an artiste.
That skill's not ready.
The other thing I mentioned that I think that I'd like to make sure is on recording again is that, like, I mentioned how I'm not really someone who watches like TV shows anymore, and the reason why I watch, like, Let's Plays but I can't watch, like, a TV show is, like, a TV show requires well, let me back up. That, you know, whenever I get involved with my work, as it has been in the past year, like the stuff that I'm doing. Oh, locked by the ethereals. Yes, I have to go kill all the stupid things again, I guess. That stinks.
That skill's not
Because they're not marked on the map now. I think that was one, and then... Ugh. Great. But then, like, whenever I get like really involved with my work, whether it's writing my book, The Philosopher's Map, or writing the stuff that came before that, like whenever I get involved in it, I do like 10-hour, 12-hour days. Like I live it. I don't just like 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours I'm doing stuff regarding it. Whether it's like theory work, you know, like head work stuff, like writing stuff down and trying to figure out how I'm going to approach something or whatever, or I'm, you know, doing studying or whatever. Like whenever I first got Principia Mathematica, like whenever the paper copy that I have showed up at my doorstep, well, I say showed up like I didn't order it, but whenever it finally arrived, I literally spent every waking moment that was not like basic biological maintenance, like eating, bathroom breaks, taking care of, you know, my house, you know, like vacuuming and stuff. Like, I spent literally every waking moment reading the Principia Mathematica introduction to make sure that I like had it in my head and to make sure that I got it all down in one, like, that I got the broad strokes down in one session, like one long, weeks-long session. Like, I lived that for like 3 weeks. So I've kind of, from that and how this year's gone and regarding all of that, that I've kind of become someone who doesn't really, like, I can't really watch a TV show, and the reason why I mentioned all that is that for some reason I made a Breaking Bad reference, right? I made the joke that we're cooking like Walter White, but I can't really, and how I haven't actually watched that show, but I can't really watch shows like that because I have to remember like the characters' motivations and get all invested and all that stuff, whereas like I could just throw on like, oh, I'll rewatch Kakaskia's Undrentide, like Shadows of Undrentide Let's Play, or oh, I'll just go watch Nidoking's like I'll go rewatch Nidoking's Goblins series, or like I'll be like, oh, I'll go rewatch Super Great Friends Siren 2 Let's Play. Like, you know, I don't have to remember a bunch of character motivations to watch a Let's Play, or like a convoluted plot, or what happened in season 3 whenever I'm looking at season, like looking to watch season 5. Like, I don't have to keep all that crap in my head.
I can't do that yet.
Okay, so I gotta go get that one. Which is weird, because whatever. But the reason why I wanted to mention that again is to make sure that I drop the name of Kikoskia, because he's my favorite Let's Player. That guy's great. It's spelled Kikoskia. He has a ton of content stretching back over a decade, so, you know, if you're looking for something to watch, he's got it. He also did UFO Aftermath, by the way, and I think Aftershock, so yeah, check that out. If me mentioning those games earlier in the session, like, piqued your interest, go check out his Let's Plays of them. And then check out mine whenever I eventually do them, which I probably will, but, like, that's, I don't know when the heck that will happen. I'm just saying I probably eventually will, but in the meantime, go check out his, because his is great. Okay, so that's the second one that I found. I'm not sure how many there are. Once I clear out the perimeter, I think I'll look at the quest log to see if it mentioned where they were at. Okay. Not really sure. I know that the third one that I saw was over here. But yeah, Super Great Friend is another guy whose stuff I like, but I'll warn you, he can kind of get a bit, he has a bit of blue humor in his stuff that I don't have. Like, I try to keep profanity light, and non-existent if possible, where possible. and I avoid a lot of blue humor. It's not that I don't have that, you know, I do. I just don't, because, you know, it's just not my thing. Like, blue humor to me is something that I have with... Like, it's not something that I'm prudish about. Like, obviously, I like Super Great Friends stuff, but it's something that I personally, like, for me to commit to blue humor, like, requires the... And I did it in my, I did a little bit of that in my stuff that's now privated, and I think I mentioned that too. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the one that's, like, that got messed up with the encoding error, but I'll mention it again in case that, like, I'm considering unlisting that so that people interested could just ask and I can give them, like, the link to my, like, Neo 1 playthrough that had a little bit of that, and my other playthroughs that had, like, more profanity and stuff in them that I just kind of don't want on, like, the public face of my channel. But, yeah, that blue humor is something that I typically try to stay away from, because I just feel kind of uncomfortable, personally, engaging in that in public. Especially as a guy with my name on books, you know? But, yeah, I like Super Great Friends stuff, especially his Let's Plays, like, actual Let's Plays of stuff like, Deadly Premonition and, the Siren series. And, Silent Hill games. Like, I love his playthroughs of Silent Hill games. Because I'm sorry, but, like, I don't think I could ever, like, actually play a Silent Hill game. Just because the controls are so, from what I've seen and from what I understand, so frustrating and pointedly so. Like, it was a design choice to make them frustrating. Like, the controls for combat and exploration. Yeah, that's two Let's Players that I like a lot. That, you know, I like their stuff a lot. Kind of wanted to make sure that I gave them a shout out. Another guy is, he did, Underrail. Crap. I'm terrible with names, by the way. Trying to remember his name. Like, his YouTube handle. Okay, so that's 3 of those. I'm going to look that up right now, actually, because I feel like... I feel like I should mention that guy's channel, because he is cool. And his Underrail Let's Play is cool. Yeah, I think that's who I'm thinking of. Bring It Dawn, I think. Yeah, Bring It Dawn. Like, his Underrail thing, I'm pretty sure he might have changed his handle from Bring It On Dawn to Bring It Dawn, but yeah, like, Dawn as in D-O-N, right? Like, that guy. He's really cool too, if I'm not going to end up dead from this stupid scamp. Okay. So that's 3 of them. I'm guessing there's 4... Oh, goodness. I do remember getting this one. I'd like to think I'd get an alert, like some kind of notice at the top, letting me know if I got them all. Okay, I think the map kind of shows them, so hold on, let me make sure I'm clear to look at the map, because you can see there's like some scuzz on the map. And then over here, I think that might have been another one. Okay, maybe that was one that I already got. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back that way and make sure. I guess it wouldn't hurt to go through here. Oh, goodness. It's a cavalcade of crap hole inhabitants. Okay.
I can't do that yet.
I want to say that that right there was where we saw those, like the gate that had the goop, like the goop around it, like the creep, the biomass stuff. Might as well pick that up. Okay, so that's where the flesh-wrapped enclave is. So if we go across here and over here, I want to check out to make sure that, like, check that area out to make super sure there isn't anything over there that I missed. Like, to make sure that this is actually just that gate and that there isn't any way forward over here. Okay. So going through here, yeah, that down there is where we got the street level 1, and then this should just be like a destroyed gate, right? Okay, well, what the heck? Oh, okay, we can go through here. Ew. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is such, like... Oh, man. That's gnarly in the right way. Oh, and I did make the point that, if the inverse is true, too. Not just horror, but, like, trying to do something that's, like, a beautiful painting or graphical representation, whether it's like 3D or whatever, that like the more you look at, the more pleasing it is. Like the more small intricacies reveal themselves that are pleasing to the eye. That's also another like work of a master thing, in my opinion. Like where you can look at a painting and the longer you look at it, the more like neat little features that are like just cool show themselves. But yeah, it's definitely a good thing in like horror or disturbing stuff, like meant to be perturbing, that you sort of have stuff just kind of reveal itself to be worse as things, you know, as time goes on, as you look at it and examine it. Now, the infestation, huh? Okay. That's the name of this area, huh? I mean, it's apt. Alright. Oh, at least I did get on camera regardless of whether or not I had to, regardless of whether or not I had to kill them again. I at least got on camera where they were at for you, so, you know, there's no ambiguity about where they're at in case you're using this somehow as like a guide or whatever. Like if you're playing along or what have you. Also, I did like get a level up, I think, but the level up I got, I just dumped it into here. Like I'm pretty sure I said on the previous video, like before the half hour that got lost to the encoding error and the game glitch. I need to remember that in the future to like not play this game for longer than a certain number of hours without like refreshing it to the main menu. Because that seems to be when those like hard locks happen. Which I mean is what it is. No, I'm not gonna be too salty about that. It is what it is. Okay. I don't like those, like, vengeful aether things that just follow you around. It's not like a fun mechanic to have something that you can't fight just following you around for no real reason. Other than to just be a hazard. Yeah, that. Like, I don't think I should have to deal with that for the rest of the level. You catch my drift? Okay. Well, we're not in the Fleshworks yet. So... we're in the infestation. So I guess I don't have to worry about trying to look for that quest marker. I do have to try to worry about navigating this crap hole. Okay, those were some ambient noises. Sound design in this game, I know I've said it enough times, but I'll say it again. Impeccable. Okay. So far, so good. I am not sure how much is left in this expansion. I feel like this is getting towards the end of it. Which isn't... I know I've mentioned it before in this session, but I do just want to cover that again. From a slightly different angle. That... you know, it's... definitely paced well if this is getting towards the end of it, because it does seem like you're finally getting close to the actual, hopefully no pun intended, heart of the matter, like the heart of the ethereal operation here. Oh man. That is gruesome. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, and it also sort of is ramping up in a way that really shows again how alien the ethereals actually are, despite maybe their superficial, like how superficially they may not seem as alien at first as the chthonics, like how alien they actually are whenever they achieve a like real foothold in an area. Like, ugh. Locked by the ethereals. Also, that is gnarly AF. Oh my goodness. That is like... man, that is bad. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's really good design for what they're going for. I'm saying it's bad as in, like, that's gnarly. It's like, oh. Oh goodness. That's grisly. And not like the bear either. Wow, these boys are really chunky. Titans, huh? Well, maybe they should loosen. I'd be up for that. Let's go against some ethereal loosens. Myrmidon, okay. Pavros Undulon, Flame Speaker. Yeah, wow, I mean, look at this. This is... This is like the kind of stuff you're gonna need therapy for. Like, by that I mean the people actually in the setting. Like, one button man is gonna need to either develop a drinking problem or go to therapy. Like, he's probably gonna have to have someone invent the profession of therapy to deal with him after this. Like, imagine the smell. Just the smell alone is just gotta be so rancid. It's miserable. Miserable. But this is how you know you're going in the right direction, right? So what's over there? Factory entrance. Okay. Flesh-bound door. Wow, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fleshworks. Oh yeah, baby. We're really in it now.
Arrogant human to think that you can my domain, my kingdom, and topple my greatest creation.
Okay, fam. I would have appreciated subtitles, but that's cool. So yeah, I'm guessing the idea is that this is like, to the ethereals, this is the equivalent of... Oh man, there's a couple of different possible reasons why this is such an important thing. Like, it's either a hive mind kind of deal, like, what's it? Oh, what the hell is that thing called from Halo? I am a monument to all your sin. Grave mind. Like, either this is like a grave mind, or to the ethereals, it's kind of like a, like the scub coral out of Eureka 7, where like they're all housed within it. Like, I can totally see that this is like a sort of weird Xanarkand for, like, physical manifestation Xanarkand, for these freaks, for these aliens. Like, they're housed within it kind of deal. Yeah, like, we're basically walking on top of the thing that they're living in. Like, that anchors them. Like, anchors a whole lot of them into the material. That would be an interesting twist. That this whole thing is just like the equivalent of an ethereal city in real space. Well, whenever I say real space, like the cairn equivalent of like normal Mundus, like the Mundus equivalent in cairn, like their equivalent of the physical realm. Because, I mean, the ethereals clearly are from a different, like, realm, so... You know, like, they're from a different dimension. My point is that this is the kind of thing that's, like, anchoring them in the physical. That would be kind of interesting. I mean, think about it. You're basically walking across a, like, if that is the case, then one button man right now is traversing across the, like, a cross between circuitry, housing programming, and, like, a city? Yeah. So weird to think about. As we just casually shoot and loot chumps. So where the heck am I supposed to be going here? Gonna dump that right there. I'm supposed to be finding people within this mess, which I don't think that's gonna happen, but... And if it does, it's probably something we'd rather not find. Like, whatever that situation ends up being.
I underestimated you, Burbage. I will not make that mistake again.
Yeah, it turns out you did underestimate my dude, because he can shoot across the stupid barrier. Fleshweaver Krieg. So I guess that's what's left of Warden Krieg, huh? Okay.
You will never stop us.
It's you again! Birthing success. Oh yeah. Yeah! Yep. Yeah. I'm from Buenos Aires and I say kill them all! Yeah, burn it down. There we go. Yeah. We should absolutely not tell that woman what we found. And that's the kind of thing that you take to your grave, and you kill everything that was involved in its creation. With extreme prejudice. That's not even a joke. Not even remotely. Not that anyone would ever joke about that. I'm saying that as an emphasizer because I'm not, resorting to profanity. Like, yeah. Besides, I don't think profanity would do justice how I feel about that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, nah. Speaking of, one bun man eating therapy. Yeah. Also, I totally called it that that's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, you're better off just... Was this the same thing? Yeah. Okay, so that was just 2 ways to get to the same thing. Alright, well, with that horrific awfulness behind us, and yeah, don't let anyone ever tell you that Grim Dawn isn't, doesn't have horror in it. Doesn't have horror and awfulness in it. Sometimes it just reminds you that, yeah, the factions that you're dealing with are, in fact, ontologically evil. Like, they are evil in a way that you can't rest from,
I can't open that.
You can't really separate from them. Rolgar the Flesh Collector, huh? Alright. I mean, there's worse hobbies, I guess. We just saw one. Ooh, goodness. Okay. Alright, so what unlocks that door? That did. Okay, cool. Alright, I want to say that this has to be the end of this, right? Like, this has to be the end of this. You don't really get more over the top than this, right? Now, whatever the hell is in here, I was gonna say, it has to be pretty bad. It looks like it. Level 70, huh? How about I just fire at him instead of his ads? Okay, gotta have to take the ad out. Starting to become a liability. I'm not really a big fan of bosses that rely on ads. Like, I get why it's a thing. I know I've mentioned it before somewhere in the playthrough, and yeah. It's sort of a thing that I'm not gonna say it gets under my skin, but it also, what a terrible term of phrase for what we're dealing with. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, I have to put some attacks in just to get my health back. Remember, we're doing healing through damage dealing, so we do kind of need to attack in moments like that just to get health back from life leech. Okay. Alright, trying to not get owned. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Come on, there we go. Goodness. Yeah, that was the bug where your guy just gets trapped on the floor whenever he goes to do the dash instead of actually dashing. Also, can I just shoot this peckerhead? There we go. Yeah, I kind of figured that wasn't going to be all of it. Alright, you stupid jerk. Oh, that looks like it'll do a ton of damage. Oh, crap. Oh, that's definitely gonna do a ton of damage. Man, it feels good to be a ranged character right about now, because I don't have to deal with any of that stupid BS.
Interference here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. If I stop having anything to interfere with, it will. So I guess he's not wrong. Oh, crap! Ugh. That's what I get for mouthing off instead of actually fighting. Oh wow, third form, huh? Okay. He's got that like Dark Falls from Phantasy Star Online look going on. Like PSO Blueburst episode 1 and 2. Or rather, not episode 1 and 2, but PSO Blueburst. PSO episode 1 and 2 was the one on the GameCube. But yeah, he's got that like Dark Falls look from Phantasy Star. Blueburst, specifically. Except Dark Falls had a much... I mean, I'm not smack-talking the music, I'm just saying that Dark Falls from Phantasy Star had a banger soundtrack, so it's hard to beat that. Like, it's not even fair to compare most boss themes to that boss theme. Yeah, I wanted to try to open the chest, bro. Come on. Yeah. All of his attacks do stupendous damage. I also don't like that I keep getting caught on like geometry on the floor whenever I go to dash. That's not great. Okay. I'm beholding. Still beholding. Behold, please. Your conflict is very important to us. The Scourge of Malmuth. Slay Theodel Marcel, the idiot in charge of this whole debacle. Oh, crap. Oh, that's, yeah, okay. I guess I'm not supposed to walk up there. Good to know. Alright, what do I get? Scrap. Unironic scrap. Look, Theoden was a hoarder, okay? Alright, so does this go anywhere, or is this just more... Yeah, I'm just dead. That's goofy. Why even... Okay. And it put me back at the sewer hideout. That's funny. Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to... Well, I get... Oh, okay. I gotta talk with Creed at the Resistance hideout, which means... at the Steel Cap base. Okay, well that's definitely the end of the Ashes of Malmuth DLC. So... Oh man, I hate to give this lady any kind of news. You're back. Does this mean you found my mother, my daughters? I dare not to hope that you bring good news. I found them. Where are they? What happened to them? Are they okay? They're all gone. What do you mean gone? They're all dead? I've grieved every moment since I lost them. I suppose it's good to know they've passed on. There are far worse things in this world than death. Yeah. Thank you for your help. I'll do my best to honor their memories now, though I don't think I'll ever recover from their loss. Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm glad I could help. Like, come on, bro.
Tell me, what happened in the Fleshworks?
The Master of Flesh is no more.
So it is finished then. With the demise of this fiend, a major pedestal in the ethereal hierarchy crumbles. Their forces here will become rudderless. Their collective will be scattered. Malmuth is a great victory for mankind. It will become a symbol of our resilience, that we are not done fighting for our right to exist. We must keep on fighting, in the name of those who sacrificed their lives for humanity itself. We will never submit.
Amen. What's our next move?
We can't afford to underestimate our enemies. There is a real possibility that the Ethereals will retaliate in some way for this loss. We must be prepared. The first step will be to exterminate the remaining Ethereal presence and secure Malmuth against a possible attack. Between Fort Icon and Malmuth, we now have major fortifications on both fronts, with access to the coastline and shipbuilding facilities. But every victory costs us lives. While the Ethereals are nigh limitless, every move we make must be carefully planned.
Agreed. So that's it. We did it. That's Ashes of Malmuth. Okay, well I think that's a good spot, obviously, to end. We did it. I obviously didn't show off all of the DLC. Like, there's stuff left to do. A lot of stuff. You know, there's a lot of stuff that went undone. Oh, goodness. What do I want to say about that? Well, I think it kind of truncated a little brutally at the end. I don't blame them for it, though, because, I mean, the lead up was kind of tantalizingly long. Like let's look at the map, like the world map, right? We're talking about going from Burwich through Gloomwald up into Ugdenbog. Like, we spent a number of hours just crapping and farting around up the coastline to get to the Ugdenbog. And then we had to mess around in Barrowholm and all that stuff. And then by the time we get through the Void to get to the Lone Watch Rift, we're at Morndale, which was like a very obviously liminal area that didn't even have, like, you know, the Ugdenbog and Gloomwald excuse. So then you get through that, and you're in Malmouth, and I guess it makes sense. Like, look, I'm not going to be that guy who says that you should have, in a medieval setting, a city that looks like, and frankly kind of is, like some stuff that would necessitate Griffith from Berserk, like having literal mystical ways to support the city. Because, I mean, come on, it's a medieval city, and yes, I know they have magic, but they don't have that kind of magic. Like, Malmouth looks like a reasonably sized city. Like, it's a reasonably sized city for the population that was probably there, which is rare and impressive in fiction. Like, a reasonably sized city. Like, and not, whenever I say in fiction, I mean in video games, like specifically in fantasy settings in video games. But yeah, I mean, it's a city. Like, there's not really much you can do for such a setting, and there's not really any way other than the way that it played out for it to escalate. The thing I'm kind of, again, I will keep coming back to this, but I don't think it would have killed them at all, and I don't think it would be a bad idea at all for them to add, like, more of those shrines. Like, I get that the devotion shrine stuff makes your character more powerful, but I don't think it would have killed them, because there's only, let me see, in all of Ashes of Malmouth you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 devotion shrines in normal and elite, and like everyone that isn't a normal and elite is in ultimate, and well, except for Void's Edge, that one is in ultimate. That one is near Barrowholm, near the, that's, okay, yeah, that's like in the Void area or whatever after the Altar of Ratosh, but still, I don't know. After going through it the way that I just did, my main objection to it is honestly that it's something that they could not have avoided, and I'm glad that they got it out of the way that they did. But the fact that it's just the Ethereals again, I mean, I'm glad that they make it a decisive victory against the Ethereals in the region, such that hopefully, I mean, I know for a fact Forgotten Gods doesn't revolve around Ethereals again, but hopefully the new one that's coming out, I think it's like Astrakarn, has nothing to do with Chthonians, has nothing to do with Ethereals, or at a minimum, like, if it does, they're not the main driving force behind it. Like, I like the idea that with Malmouth secured, with Fort Icon secured, right? Yeah, that's kind of weird that he said that they have, like, access to the coasts on both sides. I mean, I don't know about all that, Chief, but the idea that they have the main points of control on either side, like either main avenue through to Devil's Crossing, is cool. I kind of hope that they do more with all of this crap out here, because, man, it's just asking for it. But again, I like the idea that the Chthonians, while not defeated globally, are regionally controlled, that after the defeat in Malmouth, the Ethereals are regionally mostly controlled and controllable. And this stuff over here, again, I know that it doesn't revolve around the Ethereals or the Chthonians, which makes it, like, infinitely better than this, and I hate to say that. Like, dealing with Ethereals again, no matter how well they may have handled it, and I think they handled it as well as they could, kind of just falls into, again, unavoidably, you're just dealing with the thing you've dealt with to go full Southern there for a brief moment. But you're just throwing yourself back at the thing that you've thrown yourself at. It's just not really satisfying, you know. And also, I'm not going back to go get that lost XP. I legit don't care. Now, what we're going to do is leave off here. It's been a very long recording session. If I record tomorrow, and I probably won't, but if I do, we're going to jump right into the next stuff, like just right into Forgotten Gods. And then once that is over with, I will probably begin a playthrough of Neo or Neo 2. The more that I think about it, the more that I like that idea.
See you around.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Alright. That was a weird ethereal missive. Interesting. Legendary shield. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care about shields. Legendary pants that only serve as really good pants for their armor and nothing else. The Ring of the Black Matriarch, huh? +2 to fighting form.
See you around.
Okay. So that would be getting rid of some cadence damage for... Okay, I'm gonna put that in my furthest backpack and remind myself that I need to equip that. But yeah, I feel good about that, sorta. I feel like we got that done without it being too cumbersome. That we got it done in a decent amount of time. I feel like I showed off a decent amount of the stuff. You know? Yeah, I like the idea of doing Neo 1 as a playthrough, like redoing, so to speak, my Neo 1 playthrough, because I love that game. Or maybe something else like Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, though that game would be a nightmare for multiple reasons, but that's half the fun, I guess. Yeah, I just kind of want to end this out by saying that the deal with, from what I remember, the deal with the Forgotten Gods DLC, before we go into it, is that it is also I mean, it's got its own, right? Like, it is a long journey. It is its own map for a reason. Like, the Corvin Basin is its own map for a reason. It's got very difficult to deal with enemies. It's going to be a massive crap show, to put it gently. It's gonna be something else, so yeah. Kind of excited to deal with it, kind of excited to go through it. Again, I had the latter end of that. I want to, before we close out, the latter end of that I had not ever played. So I had no idea what to expect. And again, to sort of TLDR and summate my feelings on the parts that I hadn't played, if there's one thing I gotta say, making the city a freaking hard to navigate labyrinth does not work in the favor of any game design ever. Like, I get that it's a ruined city, I get that, like, man, the way that they had to use the color palette that just kind of made everything wash into each other and makes it hard to, like, visually, I mean, it kind of makes it hard to discern visually how you navigate, such that I was relying on the radar way more than I even normally do to navigate through there. That was not okay. Like, the fact that there was a quest that I came across that I went, so that Black Iron Docks quest, we're just gonna, like, well, there we go. We're gonna that out of existence, because I cannot, like, whenever you get here, if you're playing this yourself, or hopefully if you were watching and you don't mind going back to look at it, just kind of look at what I mean, that it's not that easy to navigate, like, visually, and it's just kind of like, I got that quest and I immediately went, yeah, well, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not gonna walk all the way over there. Also, they kind of, and I hate to be that guy, they could have used like 2 more void rifts in that city instead of a shortcut. Again, like, to go all the way up, all the way up. Like, they could have used a void rift here somewhere, and I don't know, if not here, then, like, I know that this is supposed to be a shortcut, but that's just not good enough. Like, they could have used a void rift, like, around here somewhere. That would have just solved that. Ditto for this. Like, a void rift right at the beginning of that infestation area would have done it a lot of good. Just the whole DLC, it would have done the entire DLC a lot of good. Just those 2 areas having more void rifts. Or rather, those 2 it's been a long recording session, folks, you know what I mean. Anyway, we're gonna get to the main menu. We're on the cusp of level 65, and we're gonna be heading into the Forgotten Gods campaign soon. Peace out.